Hi book lovers, welcome back to my channel. It is book haul time. I'm going to share with you all the books that I got back in November. Got a couple more Christmas books that I'm excited to show you guys. I didn't buy too many books for myself last month, mostly bought books for other people for Christmas, but I am excited about all the books that I received from publishers and authors, so I'm just going to get started. I never really know what order to show you guys my book hauls, but I wanted to start off with the books that I was most excited to get. They are actually all from Avon. One of them I won from Instagram and the other two were sent to me. And the book that I won was an ARC of Sapphire Flames. This one's already out, but it is the ARC copy. I was so happy to win this because one, I love Ilona Andrews, two, I love this book. It was the only one that I didn't have just yet in paperback. I have the other 3.5 books, so this is the fourth. It kind of can be read as a standalone just because it's a start to like a new arc and about a new main character, the sister of the first 3 books. But honestly, you should read the Hidden Legacy series in order anyway, just because they are that good. It's a pretty slow burn romance. Like the first 3 books, the romance developed throughout all 3 books, and then this one with Catalina and Alessandra's romance, it's pretty slow burn too. Probably will develop more in the sequel called Emerald Blaze. The cover just came out, so pretty. Usually Ilona Andrews has some pretty awful covers. They've had some terrible luck with like the Kate Daniels series and even with the Hidden Legacy series, but the publisher has been doing a really great job with these newer covers for Sapphire Flames and now Emerald Blaze. The series is all about magical powers and families. It's got a ton of action and humor. I love the series. I love this book. Ilona Andrews is one of my favorite authors ever, so obviously I'm gonna recommend this one. And then the other 2 Avon books that I got, first up is Wicked Bite by Janine Frost. This is book 2 in the Night Rebel series. It's continuing on with Veritas and Ian's romance. The series is paranormal romance, all about vampires. It's a spin-off of the author's other popular series, Night Huntress series, the Night Prince series, both of which I really enjoy. I loved book 1, Shades of Wicked, so super happy to get book 2. I'm actually a couple chapters into it. I just haven't had the chance to finish it yet. And then the next one is one of the few books that I have read in this book haul, and that is Lover or Loser by Tessa Bailey. This is the standalone sequel to Fix Her Up, which I loved, but I love this one just a little bit more. It's a second chance romance about a married couple who are on the rocks and are trying to fix that. I love the angst in this one, all the grovel, such a good second chance romance. But now, after reading this, I am so hyped for the 3rd book. It's gonna be called Tools of Engagement. It is enemies to lovers. You get a little glimpse of who the couple will be at the end of Lover or Loser. So excited. It's gonna be another like fixer-upper house flipping kind of romance. And then I got a couple books from Montlake, the Amazon publisher, Amazon romance publisher. First up is A Lie for a Lie by Helena Hunting. Haven't read this one yet, but I know it is a sports romance, hockey romance, and kind of a second chance romance where the main character is hooked up but then lost touch and reunited somehow. I don't know if it's just me, but the title kind of gives me a vibe of romantic suspense, even though it's 100% not. It's even called a romantic comedy in the blurb on the back, but I don't know, maybe that's just me. And then I got the finished copy of Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. This one's already out. Both of them are already out. I talked about it in my video review. I'll link it down below in the description. I like this one. I gave it 4 stars. It didn't blow me away or anything, but I really enjoyed it, especially more than her more recent releases, so that made me happy. I also went to this really awesome romance author talk / signing back in November. It was hosted by Avon, so it had a ton of Avon authors including Tessa Dare and Eva Leigh, and I got myself a signed copy of Eva Leigh's new released My Fake Rake. It's friends to lovers historical romance, and it's got kind of a makeover thing where the heroine helps the hero to become more like a rake rather than like a dorky nerd. I haven't read it yet, but it sounded super adorable, which is why I had to grab my own copy when I went to the signing. Also, the author is super nice, really enjoyed meeting her. I got to meet Tessa Dare at that signing, which was the highlight of my life. She is so adorable and funny, and then I got her to sign this book that I got in the mail, How the Duke Stole Christmas. This was part of a Christmas package sent from Willie and Morrow. They sent over that book, How the Duke Stole Christmas, as well as 3 other books. We met in December, 25 Days Till Christmas, and then Wrapped Up in You. So basically all perfect Christmas romance reads. I've only read Wrapped Up in You, haven't read the other 3 ones yet. They also sent some adorable avocado like face masks and lotion and a hand cream too. I thought that was super adorable and I loved the packaging of it. I also got a super adorable package from Entangled. They sent me The Beast of Beswick by Molly Howard. I've never read her before, but I know she's also a young adult author. This one is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, a historical romance. Sounds really good. And then the publisher also sent over like a matching lipstick, super red, and this candle, which I thought was really cute. Boo just looked over for some reason. He thinks I'm opening like some food for him. The cover is also so pretty. Another ARC that I was really excited to get is Conventionally Yours by Annabeth Albert. This is not the finalized cover, they just released it, but it is an romance and it's enemies to lovers. It has to do with a road trip and a fandom, which sounds like a lot of fun. I'm really excited about this one because in the pitch from the publisher, they said that this was going to be the first in a loosely connected series of queer books written by queer authors. So make sure to add this to your TBR. It won't be out for quite a while though, not until June 2020. And then I got this December stack of romances from Berkeley. These are all out already. They came out earlier this month or late November. Of course, Nalini Singh, Madness of Sunshine. Still have not read it yet, but hoping to before the end of the year. This one is her very first thriller. Not sure if there's gonna be any romance in it, but either way, I still want to read it just because it's Nalini Singh. And then Meg and Joe by Virginia Cantra. This one is a Little Woman retelling. I'm really excited about the movie coming out. I have no idea when it's even coming out, but it looks so good, and Timothée Chalamet is in it, Emma Watson. And then Bound for Glory by Tess LeSue. I think this is book 4 in the Frontiers of the Heart series, which is a Western historical romance. We've got a Native American hero who has basically become a legend in America because of the heroine's stories about him. He's not really happy about those stories though, just because they exaggerate everything. So he wants to confront the author and stop him, but of course he doesn't expect that the author is the heroine. It sounds really good. I remember the hero. He was introduced, or at least he was a character in the one book that I read in the series Bound for Sin, which is book 2. I love that one, but I just haven't had the chance to catch up with the rest of the series. But if you love Western historical romances, definitely check the series out. Speaking of Western historical romances, Jessica and I just did our live chat for Forbidden by Beverly Jenkins. I'll leave a link to that video in the description below if you want to check it out if you missed it at all. And of course we announced the next book for our book club at the end of the video. Super excited about that one because I have read it already. It's a forbidden romance, age gap, and sports romance. So hopefully you guys join in. Back to the haul, I got this romantic suspense, Into the Dark by Karen Rose. This is book 5 in the Cincinnati series, and my friend has hyped up this series and this book specifically so much for me. She loves this series and has been waiting for this couple in the 5th book for so long, probably since the first book in the series. They're that type of couple that's been like teased and hyped at throughout a series, so really excited about this one, but I do want to read from the beginning, so I probably won't be getting to this anytime soon. She mentions how the hero learns sign language because the heroine knows it, and that's how she communicates with someone really important to her. He knits a scarf or like a shawl for her and includes this stripe of gray or white because she herself has a stripe of white in her hair. My friend just made it sound really cute, so really excited to dive into the series. It is super long though, like these books are huge. Every single one of them are pretty much this big, so it'll probably take me some time to even get to this 5th book. And then this gorgeous finished copy of Blitz by Alexa Martin, the 3rd book in her playbook series, her football sports romance series. I've really enjoyed the first 2 books. I've heard some good and bad things about this next one, but I'm still excited to read it. And then I got a couple books from Harlequin. First up is this MC romance series, Saint and Renegade by Chantal Fernando. Saint is the first book in the Knights of Fury series. The hero goes to jail and the main characters become pen pals through the 5 years that he's in prison. But now he's out, and of course the heroine is in some kind of danger and he has to protect her. It's kind of a childhood sweethearts kind of romance. And then the sequel, which is about another couple, it's an accidental marriage kind of romance. The heroine gets accidentally married to a biker and she has to decide whether the biker life is for her or not. This next one is not a biker romance, but it is your good old Christmas romance, Rancher's Wild Secret by Macy Yates. This one actually has 2 books in one in this paperback. The other one is called Hold Me Cowboy, also by Macy Yates. I know a lot of people love Macy Yates, but I just haven't read her yet. I really want to and really hope to next week when I start reading my Christmas romances. This one is on my TBR. And then another Christmas, holiday, winter themed romance that I got is Where Winter Finds You by J.R. Ward. I feel like I've talked about this one so much. This is kind of like a 0.5, not a novella, but still like not really part of the main Black Dagger Brotherhood series. It is the happily ever after we get for Trez, whose story ended pretty tragically in the shadows. I can't say I was all that happy with how this book ended up though. I only gave it 3 stars. Didn't love it, didn't hate it, I just expected more. I talk more about it in my November wrap up, so I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. I also got All Fired Up by Lori Foster from Harlequin. This one is a classic contemporary romance. I think there might have an element of romantic suspense, like a little bit, from what the blurb says. It's been a long time since I last read Lori Foster. I read a couple of her older romantic suspenses and really enjoyed them, so I'm not sure why I haven't gone back to reading her. This is her latest book. It's book 3 in the Road to Love series. I do own the other 2 books. I think the central theme to the series is like traveling and finding home, whether it's physically or metaphorically, and that sounds super cute. And the last of my romances, I got Vampire Mistress by Joey W. Hill in the mail from the author. This was a really sweet surprise. Didn't expect it. It's book 5 in the Vampire Queen series, but I do believe it can be read as a standalone. It was free for a while on Amazon, not sure if it's still free now. It sounds fantastic. It is an erotic vampire romance about a vampire hunter hero who falls in love with some vampires. It is also a menage romance. The author said it was like a mix of Black Dagger Brotherhood and The Original Sinners, which are 2 of my favorite series, so this sounds perfect for me. And then for some non-romance book mail, I got this one, The Queen's Assassin by Melissa De La Cruz. This one is a young adult fantasy. I do think there's a heavy element of romance in it too, but it is young adult. The main characters are assassins, which is super cool. The hero is like the greatest assassin ever of their fantasy world, and the heroine wants to be an assassin just like him. This is part of a duet though, so it's not complete. Not sure when the sequel is going to be out, but this cover is so freaking pretty, and I love the little flap that it came in. And then I got an arc of Katie McGarry's next book, Echoes Between Us. The heroine has a brain tumor and the hero is basically the golden boy of their town. of their school. This one I'm sure is gonna be super intense and angsty like Katie McGarry's other young adult contemporaries. Katie McGarry is one of my favorite young adult authors. I loved her Pushing the Limits series. That series is one of my favorites, and Pushing the Limits was actually one of the few books to make me cry, like bawl. So I'm sure this one, Echoes Between Us, is gonna be another emotional hit. Next, I got myself a Book of the Month copy for Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. It is adult fantasy. No romance, not young adult at all. Lots of warnings when it comes to the content in this one. I'm very intrigued by this one, mainly because it sounds very different. I have read Leigh Bardugo's other books in the past, her Grisha series. I read the first 2 books, didn't bother to read the third just because I wasn't that into that series. But this one sounds fantastic, and I'm really excited to see how she'll dive into the adult genre. And then I got myself some books from Random House. The first one is The Last Course. This is a freaking recipe book. I don't know why I can't help myself when it comes to like cookbooks and recipe books. I just have to have them. Will I ever make something from this? Probably not, but it's like a perfect coffee table book, and I love just flipping through the pages and looking at the pretty pictures of some good food. This partly illustrated copy of A Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin. I think this is book 2 in the Song of Fire and Ice series. Never read them. They're humongous. Don't think I'll ever have time to read them all. I've already seen the HBO show. Did not like the last season, but I'm sure the author will be ending it differently than the show, hopefully. The illustrations though look so freaking cool. The illustrator is Lauren K. Cannon. And then I got The Confession Club by Elizabeth Berg. This one, a group of women get together once a month to have a supper club. Like instead of a book club, they meet for supper, for dinner, and just talk and share about their lives, and especially the not so good part of their lives. And then of course I had to get The Lost Causes of Bleak Creek by Rhett and Link. Rhett McLaughlin and Link Neal. They're the host of Good Mythical Morning on YouTube, one of my favorite channels. I watch them pretty much every day because they post every day. I've been watching them for about 3-ish years now. I love them so much. They're like my internet dads. This book is a thriller and basically a twist of the town that they grew up in. They did this really fantastic 3-episode series on YouTube about this book where they travel back to their hometown in North Carolina and just talk about the places that they wrote about in this book. I just love them. I know they do have another book, but it's not really like a fiction book, more like an autobiography. So I'm really happy that they got to write this book. So that is it for my book haul for November. As usual, got some books, only read like 2 of them. Let me know if you've read any of these or which ones I should start on first. And just a reminder that the KU Weekend Readathon is happening next weekend, so join us if you have the time. As always, I'll leave all the links to the books I mentioned in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!